So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
They run again on 1st down. Cook will get this up to about the 44. 2nd and 7. To throw, it's Allen. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Up the middle, it's Cook. Down to about the 45. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 7. Allen. Cook makes the catch on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. They'll try the middle with Cook. Jeremy Chin there defensively. So a nice run there, and I have to think a strong running game in the playoffs, maybe even more critical than the regular season. And if you go by the numbers, the man they have running it here, he was the best in the NFL.
And since he led the league in rushing yards, I think it means he's going to see the ball a lot in this game, too, because that's what they're built like. That's what they're built around. So I think the offensive line, the tight end, the wide receivers, everyone is coming together, wanting him to get the ball and get it often, and they want to carve some holes out there for him.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Throwing now is Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
1st down, Bills.
A 1st down carry for Davis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Kaiser White. We know he can fly to the ball, and he showed it there. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. James Cook, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bills will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Terrell Bernard is in on the tackle.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Smith now to throw. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing now is Geno. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 8. To the air, Allen. Look at the big man rumble. He'll get it inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 34.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs. And the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you've got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That play over before it got anywhere thanks to Christian Wilkins. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Here's 3rd and a few inches. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. And it looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. Now Geno. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Smith going to move him around. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Tucker. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. To throw is Smith. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Geno now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Smith throwing again. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Carlson able to put this one through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing again is Smith. Looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Here we go on 4th. Smith. That's to his running back, complete. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He's going to look deep down the field. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
But when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42. They snap it to Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now Smith. Over the middle, hooks up with the tight end Bowers. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 25-yard line. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Smith. This is caught by Tucker. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
That's another Las Vegas first down. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and goal.
Off of play action. Here's Smith. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal.
There we go. No ball, no ball. Middle.
Here's Smith. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Allen off the play fake. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Cook up the gut. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Bit of a pressure spot here for Tyler Bass. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely That was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the fourth as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's Tucker, complete on the right side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the big fella inside the 10. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Smith. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. He's going to let it go again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. On 4th down, Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Throwing now is Gino. Going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Smith now to throw. He'll buy some time right. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A throw left side, reeled in by the rookie wideout. That almost, but not quite. Needed 10, he got 9. 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
A 7-yard gain. And the Raider.
To the air again, Smith. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. Got a man. That's Colin Johnson. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Geno now to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's a handoff out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Back to throw, Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Here we go.
Hands it off out of the gun. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Out of the gun, Smith. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
The Raiders will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Smith. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Bills, and that should all but do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Bills first down, and that should be that. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Again, it's Cook. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card.